Hi, this is Chris Hernandez, and this is my screencast on MindMeister. So today I had a meeting with a coworker of mine, and we talked about creating a positive social community through inclusion at our school. So essentially beefing up our inclusion efforts because we realized that we had not done a great job in providing everyone, including vendors, families, with a feeling of inclusion. Well, I shouldn't say families because we focus more towards families, but more so vendors and alumni and staff. So with that being said, before we move on from here, this is the image that I've selected for this whole presentation. For some reason, the app would not let me bring in another image, and this was marked with a category 1 for importance. It's completed, and this was the due date today because today was the day of my meeting. So the first thing we talked about was alumni management, of course, as I mentioned, and then the next was social media, which then branches off into, so I wear a lot of hats at my job, and we talked about how to be inclusive and what I can share on our social media in regards to the transitions department, so events that are going on and who should be included on what social platform. And then of course we talked about students' families and adding more events and helping parents connect better with each other and form relationships between their children. And then, of course, we talked about our podcast, how to beef up our podcast. So I host our podcast and I edit it and publish it once a week. It receives over 100 plays an episode. There's really only 6 episodes, so not that many plays. But we talked about including outside vendors, parents, students, just to really include those people in the things that we're doing. And we'll get to outside vendors later. And so then I included our talks about the website. So I provided a link to the website as well as a video on our YouTube channel that I edited a while ago. And then the comment was about how many visits a month our website receives, as it's improved greatly over the past 2 years. And then, of course, that leads to our blog, which is located on our website. And we talked about including outside vendors to better connect vendors that we work with, such as law offices, doctors' offices, people of that nature, with parents and families. And then we talked about paid marketing to increase our reach to other vendors, so that we'd be able to include them on the things that we have going on with both parents, and later we'll get to this, our conference. And so our marketing would mainly take place on our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and through brochures that we hand out. And then, of course, we talked about creating a job board, and I've provided a link to the job board website that we would be looking at. And the job board would essentially be for our parents. If our parents were looking for anything from, to talk to new lawyers, to visit doctors, to also hire, whether it be Rebecca School staff or outside, like staff members such as private occupational therapists, private speech therapists, people of that nature, for their child on the weekends, they'd be able to post job listings there and provide what they're exactly looking for, what the job entails, and how much they're willing to pay. And then, of course, leads to our other vendors that we wish to include, which, of course, are lawyers, doctors. There's a band that we work with that has been visiting the school and would be an integral part of events for the older kids, who are musicians that have special needs. So it's a band of people with special needs, which fits right in with our community. And also, hiring companies that we work with, so our internships Pencil, which is an internship program I work with, and Adaptive Design, which is a company that designs special chairs for our students. We just want to work on being better at inclusion for these people and inviting them to our events instead of just reaching out to them when we want to do a presentation or when we need students to get checked on, or when an IEP meeting is coming up. We want to really include these people on everything that's going on because they are part of the bigger picture that makes up our school. And so transitions internships, I wrote a comment, we wanted to add more internships, so more people who are willing to work with us. And our current main internships are Cafe Rebecca and Magnolia Bakery, and we talked about really including Magnolia Bakery in on a lot of our events, since they did hire one of our students once he graduated into a part-time position. And then of course we talked about how this all leads into our conference, and including these people to attend our school hosted regional conference, which I help manage, and our ICDL International Conference, which is managed by a outside company that oversees DIR floor time. So that is my entire presentation. Just to go over it, everything is mind mapped like this. Each one is numbered down here, as you can tell on the slideshow, in order that we went through. This was my image. That is my completion, my date. There's a comment there. There's a link right there. So if we actually close presentation mode, I can show you that the link works. This is jobboardfire.com, the thing that we were talking about, as well as our website, a link to our website, rebeccaschool.org. And yeah, this has been my MindMeister Screencast. Thank you.